Magandang araw, mga kababayan, kapatid, kaibigan. Kumusta kayo po? Ito po si Nico Fabian. Once again, nandito po sa programa natin, Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico. Thanks God, it's Friday. Ngayon is December 12 na po. Malapit na po ang Pasko. And siguro, ready na kayo sa Pasko po, no? But anyway, sa issue natin ngayon na itong araw na ito, Biyernes, I just want to raise isa lang topic natin. And itong topic natin is tungkol sa Pilipinas at saka sa Malaysia. When we talk about Malaysia, particularly dito po sa Sabah at saka dyan po sa Mindanao. Sa Pilipinas, ang Mindanao. Ibig sabihin po, we are talking about the government of Malaysia, the government of Sabah, and itong Sultanate of Sulu. Patay na po ang Sulu-Sabah claim. Patay na po ang Sulu-Sabah claim. And ngayon, hindi lang ang sigaw ng mga opisyalis dito sa Sabah, at saka ang mga Filipinos na nakatira dito who are residing legally in Sabah, particularly kami dito po sa Kota Kinabalu, we are now asking kung pwede lang po the Philippine government, ang Manila natin po, ang administrasyon ni Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos, ang presidente natin po, could seriously consider of setting up a consulate office dito sa Kota Kinabalu o dito sa Sabah po, no? Siguro wag na lang let's not talk about Philippine Embassy kasi mayroon na tayong Philippine Embassy dyan sa Kuala Lumpur, sa West. Dito sa Sabah po, kailangan din po ng consulate office natin para to cater ang mga Filipinos dito po sa dalawang state ng Sabah, ng East Malaysia po, ang Sabah, ang Sarawak. Kasi dami din tayo dito mga Filipinos who are legally working and residing. Mga Filipino migrants din po nandito. In the event they need a consulate services po, madali na po. No? Madali na. Sa ngayon, nahirapan tayo po whenever we need the consulate services from our own Philippine Embassy po. Either pupunta kami dyan sa West Malaysia, sa Kuala Lumpur kasi nandoon ang Philippine Embassy, or else maghintay kami po ang consular service team ng embahada natin dito sa Sabah. And it will only happen every 3 or 4 months po. But hindi dito sa city mismo po, no? It will be it's mobile for 3 or 4 months po dito sa Kota Kinabalu. After 3 or 4 months, dyan na po sa ibang distrito dito sa Sabah. Kagaya Kota Kinabalu, mayroon tayong Tawau, mayroon tayong Sempurna, mayroon tayong Kiningaw, mayroon tayong Lahadatu, Sempurna, and so forth and so on po. So, mahirap to get ang consulate services ng embahada natin. And this has been going on for donkey years na po. Despite ang mga Filipinos dito po, we have been shouting for how many years now. In fact, a group of Filipinos, even when during the time of President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, ang group of Filipinos that includes me po, we went and talked to the Manila authorities po. During that time, ang Labor Department, we went there. Ang opisina ni Abalos, ni Abalos po. So we went and talked kung pwede lang, kung hindi man pwede mag-establish ang consulate office dito sa Sabah po, maskin Philippine Passport Facilitation Center lang po. Why they cannot do that consulate office dito po? It is because of the Sabah claim. So ngayon po, sigurado na po, it was already announced by the European courts, especially itong Paris Court of Appeal, na null and void na po yon arbitrary award given by the Spanish court po, no? Ang awarded ang something like ilan na billion yan po, no? US dollar. And kung sa ringgit yan po, that is around 61 point something million ringgit, no? Dapat daw mang award sa Sultan of Sulu. But ngayon po, may final decision na po na null and void yung decision ng Spain. Awarding ang Sultanate of Sulu na they sabi natin they were awarded with such a big amount po dahil po sa Sabah claim. So wala na po. So I'm going to discuss with you po itong issue. Okay, to start with po, let me share with you ang balita dito sa Sabah. No? This concern ang mga Filipinos dito at saka mga Filipinos, dyan po ang gobyerno natin sa Pilipinas. This is for this reason why sabi ko po na we have to raise this issue sa programa natin. And nandito na po ang balita. Ang balita po tungkol sa Sabah claim. And it was released 2 days ago. In fact, I mentioned this in my previous programs natin dito po sa Nick Talk, the Real Talk with Nico. Once again, welcome lahat kayo, mga Filipinos dito sa Sabah, sa Nick Talk, the Real Talk with Nico. Ang mga overseas Filipino workers natin po sa iba-ibang parte ng mundo is monitoring us. And of course, ang mga kababayan natin, kaibigan natin, at kapatid natin dyan po sa Pilipinas. Eto na. Sabah has hailed the Paris Court of Appeals decision to annul the $14.9 billion or 61.1 billion ringgit final award in the claim by individuals purporting to be heirs of defunct Sulu Sultanate over Sabah. Chief Minister ng Sabah po, for the second term, si Chief Minister Dato Sri Panglima Haji Noor called the decision decisive ruling and significant victory for Malaysia. I have stated before, sabi niya po, we will defend Sabah's sovereignty within the Federation of Malaysia and we will never entertain such claim. The decision of the Paris Court of Appeal once again vindicated Sabah's stand all this while, he said in a response to the statement of a Sulu Special Secretariat of War Room acting on behalf of the Malaysian government. The court's ruling on December 9 found that the arbitrator, si Gonzalo Stampa, lacked jurisdiction and that no valid arbitration agreement bound Malaysia. As Gigi said, Sabah state government reiterated its commitment to work with the federal government to quash any future claims. We also express our gratitude to the federal government for their hard work in defending Sabah's sovereignty, he added. Yon po, no? Yon po ang desisyon ng Paris Court of Appeal. Ibig sabihin po, the Sulu Sabah claim is dead. Is dead po. Ano mga reaksyon ng mga Filipinos dito sa Sabah? Okay, ang mga reaksyon ng mga Filipinos, may kunting negative, but karamihan po, majority, they also welcome ang desisyon ng Paris Court of Appeal, no? Dropping in finality itong Sabah claim ng Sulu. Dahil po, hindi kagaya noon, during the 70s po, no? Ang dami tayong mga Filipinos dito po illegal. And in any country, no government would like to see or welcome ang undocumented foreigners sa lugar nila po. And same thing goes dito po sa Malaysia, dito po sa Sabah. But as the year goes by, improve ang Malaysia in terms of, in all aspects po, no? Economy, peace and order, and political stability, no? Ang dami na po sila mga developments, and because of the opportunities to develop the state, to develop the country po, it created job opportunities. And not only job opportunities, it also enticed foreigners like Filipinos, Indonesians, Pakistanis, Indians. They come to Sabah, no? They come to Sabah and work. Dahil po, maganda ang sitwasyon dito sa Sabah, and tumataas na po ang sweldo. Sa ngayon po, ang minimum wage dito sa Sabah, be it a local or be it a foreigner, foreign workers po, is 1,800 per month. So, ibig sabihin, kung 1,800 per month, mga abot na tayo mga, based on the exchange rate ngayon po, we are hitting something like 20,000 pesos a month or slightly over. Kagaya yon, I'll give you an example, ang mga domestic helpers dito po, they're earning that much. Kung sa Mindanao lang sila po, sa Pilipinas lang sila po, medyo mahirap po magkuha itong klaseng, sabihin natin, sweldo. And maganda po, if you're working here, na may peace of mind tayo po. Wala tayong takot sa gulo in terms of peace and order or security po. Wala tayong problema ang political stability nila po and maganda ang ekonomiya nila po. Takot ng mga Filipinos dito kung may kasalanan. Ibig sabihin, kung may kasalanan ka, wala kang proper documents, then yun po ang problema ng mga Filipinos. So, welcome na welcome ang mga Filipinos tungkol itong decision ng Paris Court of Appeal. Court of Appeal po. We welcome it. We welcome it. And as mga officials dito po, just for example, I give you a very good example, today's newspaper, sa amin po, sa Daily Express newspaper, the independent English newspaper dito sa Sabah. Now, lumabas na din ang storya ng former Chief Minister, si Dato' Yong Tek Lee, in welcoming the decision of the Paris Court of Appeal tungkol sa Sabah claim ng Sulu. Welcome na welcome din sila, or si former Chief Minister of Sabah, na welcome siya ang decision ng Paris Court of Appeal. Sabi niya that is very good for Malaysia, particularly for the people, for the government of Sabah po. Regardless ang mga locals ba or foreigners po, particularly ang mga Filipinos po. And it is for this reason that si Dato' Yong Tek Lee came out with the idea, because he is one person who is very concerned about the welfare and interest of foreigners working in Sabah. And concerned siya po about ang how to protect the locals dito po sa Sabah or mga Sabahans po. Mga Sabahans. And sabi niya po, with this kind of a decision, which he is welcoming, and of course, Sabah is welcoming, everybody is welcoming, sabi niya po, kung pwede lang, ang Manila government, if it is possible, the Manila government, spearheaded by President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr., to seriously consider, now that the Sabah claim is dead, seriously consider of helping their nationals dito sa Sabah by way of establishing consulate office dito po sa Sabah. It can be in Kota Kinabalu as the only city in Sabah, or else sa ibang distrito po. Ang mga areas that we are considering, mga Filipinos is considering, in the event na matuloy ito po ang consulate office, pwede din sa Kota Kinabalu, pwede din sa Sandakan, pwede din sa Tawau. Pwede din sa Tawau. So, yun po ang suggestion, or that's what the former Chief Minister Yong Tek Lee is urging the Manila government po to seriously consider, of which the Filipinos, we also welcome the suggestion of former Chief Minister Dato' Yong Tek Lee. Nahirapan na talaga ang mga Filipinos po. As what I mentioned earlier, it is very difficult. We find it very difficult po. Not only difficult or time-consuming or also expensive po, when we need consulate services. Kawawa po. Because ngayon, ang mga Filipinos dito po, we prefer to be legally employed with the proper documents, not like before, during maybe the 60s and 70s, magulo po ang Mindanao po, By force, nagpunta tayo dito mga mga economic refugees. No? Tago ng tago. Although the Malaysian government, Sabah government, they issued some documents na po, but it is not a passport. No? So ngayon, karamihan ng mga Filipinos dito po, that includes also other nationalities like Indonesians po. Ang Indonesia walang problema because they have their Indonesian consulate office sa Sabah. Tayo po wala. So ngayon mga Filipinos, we want to be properly documented. We experienced that, ang hardship po. Remember during the time of COVID, ang mga Filipinos po, no? We're not able, majority of us were not able to renew our passports. We were not able to renew our work permits because kulang ang dokumento natin required by the Malaysian government or authorities. No? So dapat we have to go back to the Philippines and do it. And it costs money. Either we go to Manila or go to Zamboanga or go to Kuala Lumpur. Although it's cheaper to go back to the Philippines than going to Kuala Lumpur sa embahada natin sa Kuala Lumpur po dahil mahal ang ticket. That's the only way we can go to Kuala Lumpur, by plane. Pero dito sa Sabah, if we want to go to Zamboanga kasi mayroon tayo Department of Foreign Affairs, no? We can use ferry services po. And may direct flight tayo during those days. May dalawang direct flight tayo. Asia and Cebu Pacific flying the road, no, to Kota Kinabalu and Manila. So we have to book early and sabihin natin para makuha tayo ang cheap airfare. But it is also time consuming. So during those days after the COVID, ang mga employers ng mga Filipino po, they still want the services of the Filipinos. Why? Because they believe and they are convinced na ang mga empleyado nila po, mga workers nila po, are very good workers. Easy to communicate, honest, hardworking. No? But the problem is, they also face hurdles. No? Problema po, dahil if they're going to continue to hire itong mga Filipinos, then they will be violating the immigration law ng Malaysia. And hindi nyo ba alam kung magkano ang penalty for an employer harboring an illegal immigrant? Per head yun po is 10,000 ringgit. And it's not a joke. For a company or an employer to pay 10,000. If you have 5 workers, then you have to raise up 50,000 po. So, yun po. So, because of this po, no, karamihan, hanggang ngayon, I can say, na karamihan ng mga Filipinos dito sa Sabah po, they are legally employed or they have the proper documents. But nahirapan din tayo po because every year, we have to renew, we have to get some documents from our embassy po. Either we go to the Philippine Embassy sa Kuala Lumpur or we go back to the Philippines po. Time consuming and expensive. Time consuming and expensive. And one more thing po, hindi na regular ang ferry services po dyan po sa Sandakan to Zamboanga City. Yun ang problema. So, if the government, Manila government, now that patay na po ang Sabah claim ng Sulu, Sultanate of Sulu, si Karim, Sultan Karim III. Now, ngayon po, kung patay na yan po, why don't the Philippine or ang Manila government to come up and establish a Philippine consulate office dito po? Siguro kung mahirap pa po kasi we have to go to the Congress and fix ang budget po, siguro maskin Philippine Facilitation Center lang muna po. Para makatulong talaga sa mga Filipinos dito. Remember, a few months ago, nagpunta si President Ferdinand Marcos dyan po sa South Korea and he announced na they establish one Philippine or consulate office ba yun, or Philippine Passport Facilitation Center sa South Korea po, so that they don't have to go to the capital. Mga Filipinos working outside the capital, they don't have to come to the capital, Seoul, and seek for consular services po. So malaking tulong, sabi ang Presidente BBM. So sana lang po, you will do the same thing po before you step down as a President of the Philippines po. No? Kasi malaking tulong po, malaking tulong ito para sa mga Filipino. Para sa mga Filipino po. Yon po. This is what I'm trying to pass the message. Okay, let me read you. Para klaro mas disente, let me read you itong statement ng former Chief Minister of Sabah, si Dato' Yong Tek Lee. Ito po ang balita ni Dato' Yong Tek Lee. Sabi niya po, former Chief Minister Dato' Yong Tek Lee called for the Philippines to finally put to rest its long-standing claim over Sabah following the definitive conclusion of the 14.9 billion US dollar Sulu arbitration claim against Malaysia. Yong said the Philippines' claim has always been anchored on the historical Sulu claim dating back to 1878, with multiple European courts, including the Paris Court of Appeal, ruling decisively against the Sulu heirs. He said the legal and practical foundation of the Philippines claim have now collapsed. Sabi niya po, the finality of the Paris Court and the other European courts has shown that the Sulu claim was an attempt in futility. Without the Sulu claim, the Philippines claim inevitably falls because it has absolutely no basis. The people of the Philippines should now see the government's pursuant of the Sabah claim is an exercise in absolute futility. Yong urged the Manila government, remember this, Yong urged the Manila government to move on and focus instead of strengthening neighborhoodly ties with Malaysia, particularly between Sabah and the southern Philippines. As a concrete step towards closing the issue once and for all, Yong proposed that the Philippines establish a consulate in Sabah to provide essential consulate services to the large Filipino community residing in the state. The setting up, sabi ni Yong, the setting up of the Philippine consulate in Sabah would be a clear and definitive action that the claim is over. He added that Malaysia must also assert the correct historical record, emphasizing that the relevant document concerning Sabah's status is the grant dated December 29, 1887, not the frequently cited January 22, 1878 grant. Yan po. Yan po ang appeal or nag-urge po si former Chief Minister of Sabah sa Manila government po or kay PBBM. And karamihan ng mga Filipinos dito po ngayon, we agree na dapat po, kailangan tayo po ang Manila government to move on. Move on na tayo po. And for the sake of the Filipinos who regularly remit remittances back home o dyan po sa Pilipinas, of which our remittances contributed also in the economy of the Philippines. So, dapat po, you scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. Dapat lang yun po, ganyan. Pero sana po, whatever taxes or remittances we are sending back to the Philippines po, hindi na ito po magpunta sa mga nagnanakaw dyan sa Pilipinas. Grabe po, galit kami. Hanggang ngayon galit kami po. Kasi lahat na, wala na, nahirapan pa kami mag-renew ang mga passport namin dito po, ang mga documents namin to get consulate services, tapos only to find out na whatever we send, dapat it will is ang buhay ng mga loved ones namin which we temporarily left sa Pilipinas. Yung pala po, ang mga pera namin po, nagpunta lang sa mga irresponsible, greedy individuals. Kagaya ang, sabihin natin, senator, mga politicians natin po, government officials, and mga private sector, ang mga contractors po. Kaya nga, sigaw namin, we want to know kung sino talaga ang mastermind. Ang mastermind sa itong mga kalokohan po, which, because of them, ang mga ordinaryong Filipino po is suffering. Suffering even ngayon po, sa Pasko na ito po, December, month of December, malapit ang Pasko po. Pero mo, malaking insulto sa amin, ang mga overseas Filipino workers o sa mga Filipinos po, when ang DTI sabi niya po, pwede na yun, Noche Buena, 500 pesos. Malaking insulto yun po. At saka, what else can we expect? Ang mga filing of charges or cases against these people involved sa corruption, sa Pilipinas po, sa flood control projects at saka sa national budget natin po, lahat na mga maliit isda. Nasaan na po ang mga barakuda, ang mga malaking isda po? Nasaan na ang mastermind? Hanggang ngayon po, hindi kami satisfied. And walang transparency, walang accountability, and of course, justice. Sana lang po, before the year ends po, ang gobyerno natin will be able to show to us na they really meant to give ang clamor, ang cry ng mga masa ng Pilipino po, accountability, transparency and justice, and ibalik ang mga pera na nagnakaw sa amin. So siguro hanggang dito na lang muna ang programa natin. Other issues, mayroon tayo po. Now, I will be monitoring sa mga media outlets dyan sa Pilipinas so that whatever updates mayroon, I will make sure mga kababayan ko po, mga kaibigan ko po, and mga kapatid ko po dito sa Malaysia, and of course, ang mga overseas Filipino workers who are watching my program po, you will be able to get the news. And that goes also to mga kababayan, kaibigan, kapatid natin po dyan sa Pilipinas, especially dyan po sa Mindanao. Sa Mindanao. So, with this, maraming salamat po. And what do you think? What do you think ang sitwasyon namin ngayon dito po sa Sabah? Do you agree na dapat ba na ang ang Philippine government natin to now establish ang consulate office dito po sa Sabah? By putting up the consulate office po, you are not only helping the Philippine government, ang Marcos, you are not only helping ang mga Filipinos dito sa Sabah po. You are also solving whatever domino effects kung may mga mass deportation from Sabah para dyan po sa Zamboanga, sa Tawi-Tawi, sa Sulu, sa Basilan po. You will be able to address also ang problema nila. So, hanggang dito na lang. Ito po si Nico Fabian. Once again, would like to say thank you very much for making me a part of your day today. Ingat kayo po. Enjoy kayo ang weekend, Saturday and Sunday. And don't forget to pray to God for ang safety, ang safety ng bayan natin, ang safety ng lahat mga Filipinos, be it in the Philippines or outside the Philippines po. And dapat po, hingi tayo sa Panginoon to guide ang mga leaders natin dyan po sa Pilipinas. Give them a very sharp mind, clean mind, so that ang bayan natin will start moving forward again. Maraming salamat. Malaysia, Sabah, the Philippines. God bless us all. I love you and I'll see you in my next episode. Bye-bye.